Hey guys, it's Anish here and welcome back to another video. So this will be, I think, the first football video. I have done many shorts, you can check them out, although they are cringe. Anyways, here is the data I've collected for the top 5 leagues, basically, the winner and runner-ups. So in La Liga, Real Madrid ran away with the title in the second half of the season. It looked like Girona would come second after they beat Barcelona 4-2 twice. However, they bottled some games later on in the season, especially a 1-all draw to Alaves. They drew to Villarreal, and now Barcelona became the runner-up after winning 4 out of their last 5 games. In the Premier League, it was a three-way race between Man City, Arsenal and Liverpool. However, after Liverpool drew with West Ham, lost to Everton and lost to Crystal Palace, the title race was pretty much over. Arsenal and Manchester City would fight it out for the title, and both teams won 6 out of 6 the last 6 games, 18 points. However, Arsenal lost a game to Aston Villa 2-0, which made the difference. So just one game made the difference in the Premier League title race. It was honestly the most entertaining title race last season. In the Bundesliga, Bayern Leverkusen became unbeatable, and they became invincible, winning 29 games of 34 and drawing 5. I don't know if it has been done ever before. It probably hasn't. Most likely, they became the first ever team to be invincible in the Bundesliga. Wow. And they won the season with 92 points. That takes some dedication. Wait, I'm sorry. I think they won 28 games and drew 6. Either 28 games or 29 and drew 5. I'm not sure. But Stuttgart came second. Bayern Munich lost the game on the last match day to Hoffenheim, which meant Stuttgart winning the last game would place them second. And in a shocking result, Bayern earned just 7 or 8 points in their last 5 games in the Bundesliga, while Stuttgart capitalized on that, won on the last 2 match days, and guess what? Finished second. Bayern Munich didn't even finish second. In the Serie A, it was a one-way race, to be honest. From the start of the season, Inter Milan and Juventus were fighting it out for the title. By the winter break, Juventus was only 1 point behind. At some point, Juventus already crossed Inter. However, they completely collapsed. In fact, they went winless for 8 games, earning 6 draws in 6 games, and that, in all honesty, is a remarkable feat. It takes some talent, some vigor, and some rigorous hard work to draw 6 games in a race when you're ahead 1 point in the title race. I'll say it, but this is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if it as a bigger collapse in the title race has ever been seen before, but AC Milan, they were not in the title race at all. However, I think they finished about 15 points behind Inter. In Ligue 1, it was the usual story. PSG, in fact, they started off poorly. They had 8 points in the first 5 games, and it looked like Monaco would win the league. Later on the season, Monaco had a collapse, and Nice, after 19 games, had 40 points, and they were chasing the title. However, Nice's season collapsed. They went winless in 7 games, drawing 3 and losing 4. Wow. But that is seriously comparable to Juventus, but I think drawing 6 games is more remarkable than drawing 3 and losing 4. However, in the end, Monaco did come back strongly. PSG won the league with 76 points. This is the overview. Now, based on these results and based on the recent summer signings, I will like to review the top 5 leagues and make my predictions for the top 5 leagues. So first, as you can see on my list, I will review La Liga. Yes, I will make a review of La Liga, everything from positions, transfers, and I will view everything. Don't worry, I'll be back shortly. So this chart shows every club participating in the 2024-25 season of La Liga in alphabetical order, I hope. Under key signings, you may notice some abnormalities. Basically, NA means that not available, which means either the club has not signed any player or the club hasn't made any signing that will impact their season. All the signings they've made are fringe signings and in no way will help improve their position. So this is basically a key transfers chart. So if the club has made no key transfers, even if they have made any transfers in the season, if they are not enough, in my personal opinion can be yours as well, if in my personal opinion the club has not made any signing that can personally, for me, impact their season by a huge margin, then yeah, they're not on the list. And some clubs have basically not even made any signings, starting with Athletic Bilbao. So they are a world famous club. Everyone knows them. They finished 5th last season. Copa del Rey Williams, Nico Williams transfer saga is going on. See, at the time of this recording, I don't know whether Nico Williams will stay at Athletic Bilbao or will leave Athletic Bilbao to join Barcelona or PSG or whatever. He's linked with many clubs. However, I will, for the sake of this video, consider that Nico Williams has left Athletic Bilbao. Now that is in itself a very big loss. Athletic Bilbao, I don't know. They've got Ernesto Valverde, who is a really good manager, experienced manager, and his tactics worked really well last season. They've got good players all around, and they have been historically successful. In fact, their academy is comparable to Barcelona's. It's not better in any way. It's not better. It's not even coming close. But after Barcelona, the second best academy in LaLiga is of Athletic Bilbao. Because in their entire history since the 1900s, they've been producing players from the academy in the Basque region, and they have a strict transfer policy. They won't sign any players born or playing outside the Basque region. With that said, Alvaro Jallo, they've signed him from Braga for 15 million, and he is a good talent. He's a forward, and I think he will in some way be able to affect the quality that Bilbao have, especially considering for me that Nico is leaving the club. It's not just any player we're talking about. Nico Williams is or has been one of the best players in the Euros, and it's a huge void. In fact, I would call this void irreplaceable. If it was a club like PSG who cannot replace Mbappe, however, this is Athletic Bilbao we're talking about. They produce players from the academies like gems. So I will consider that fact, and I will rate Athletic Bilbao as having a good season. I will make my predictions later. First, I will review the key transfers that the clubs have made. Atletico Madrid, they have made 2 signings, and that they're the only club that have put 2 signings because in my personal opinion, these 2 signings will have an equally great impact on the season. Robin Lenormand has been one of the best defenders in La Liga in the past few seasons and has been one of the best defenders in the Euros. But Alexander Solot is fresh off a 4-goal game versus Real Madrid in his last La Liga outing. These 2 players equally impact the season of Atletico Madrid. And if your club has made not just 1 but 2 or 3 transfers that in my opinion equally impact the season of your club, then I will put them in this list because they are equally as important. However, except Athletic Bilbao, Atletico Madrid, I did not find any other club except them that have made more than 1 signing that equally impacts the season in a better or worse way, whatever. That being said, Atletico is looking really strong, and they are set to sign Conor Gallagher as well. Barcelona, the saga with Nico Williams has been going on for so long. Dani Olmo, I think he's about to become the first signing. Pau Victor's been signed, but he was playing in the academy. But most importantly, La Masia. We saw it against City and Madrid. Marc Casado, Marc Bernal, Guilherme Martinez, Pau Victor, Nandez. These are players that have not been signed. They are homegrown talents from La Masia. What I will say, without any further intervention, is that La Masia is the best academy in the entire world at this current moment. And they don't even need to sign any players. They need a defensive midfielder. They've got Marc Bernal. He showed fantastic in his past few games. Marc Casado, Fermin Lopez, they don't even need Dani Olmo. We don't even need Dani Olmo because Fermin Lopez is more than enough, and we've got Marc Casado, who was world class in the 2 games he played. Pablo Torre, he was absolutely a key topic, hot topic for sale. However, he's proven himself to be the best midfielder in this preseason. Against City and against Madrid, he was the best player on the pitch. Undoubtedly, Pau Victor, he is just another gem I would like to talk about. Victor Roque as well, let's see what he does. Barcelona overall, La Masia will yet again is producing gems that will hugely impact them. For Barcelona, these La Masia players coming up every season is far greater than any signings they will make. Real Betis, they signed Xabi Riyad from Barcelona. Now he's a good defender. He's a talented Moroccan wonderkid, and I do think that it's a positive signing for Betis. They needed to make this deal, and I'm glad they made it. They've been a solid mid-table club, and I think they continue on that path. I have nothing to say. I have nothing else to say about them. Celta Vigo, they made one key or big name, even if that signing won't impact the season so much. It's a big name, Borja Iglesias. I mean, this guy was balling out in La Liga a couple of seasons ago, but he had just one goal in the entire 2023-24 season. He was worse than Anthony. And to think that this guy was having 20 goals, 30 goal seasons a few years back, damn, the fall off. He had a 20-goal season in the 2022-23 season. However, he just scored one entire goal in the entire campaign for Real Betis. He was loaned out to Leverkusen, where he scored 0 goals and 0 assists. So he was absolutely terrible. But he is a great player. Just look at his past seasons. One bad season doesn't mean anything. Just look at Christian Eriksen, for example. Just look at Rafael Varane. These are players that have recovered from the terrible seasons. And now even look at Thibaut Courtois. So, Borja Iglesias, considering that he was worse than Anthony last year, he still is a big name signing. And they just lost their star man. Celta Vigo lost their best player, Strand Larsen, to Wolves. And I don't think that I don't think that they're gonna do well in La Liga. If I might want to not spoil my predictions early in the video, I don't think they're gonna do well. Espanyol, they just got promoted to the La Liga. However, they haven't really made any important signings. I sincerely apologize for the pause. However, Espanyol, they haven't done enough. They've made a couple of signings, but they have no impact on this season. At least I think so. Well, let's move on from them. I don't think they'll... Well, basically, they've lost way more and they've gained absolutely nothing, I would say. Getafe, they are in a bit of a situation. They didn't have any players to even organize friendly games, pre-season games is what I was hearing. And their club is in a financial crisis or whatever. I don't think they're in a... Wait, I think the sporting department is responsible. Whatever. My knowledge is lacking and I acknowledge it. However, they didn't even have enough players a few days back to organize a friendly pre-season game. So they've lost Mason Greenwood as well, so they've lost some key players. One key player they have is Ilaix Moriba. He's a wonder kid from Guinea, and I think he's gonna do good this season, but regardless. Let's move on from them. Girona, they've signed Abel Ruiz from Braga, and if you don't know, this guy is balling out in the Olympics. Wow, this guy scored a stunner in the Olympics, and this guy's a really good forward. Considering they just lost Savinho, they need a great player to replace another great player. They lost Dovbyk as well. And they've bought Brian Gill. But I think Abel Ruiz will impact the season more than Brian Gill. That's why I didn't put two of them in the same table. Now, this guy is an absolute baller. Go check him out, Abel Ruiz. He's balling out in the Olympics. I really, personally love him. Las Palmas, they signed Ollie McBurney from Sheffield United. An experienced striker from the Championship. He was in the Premier League. Scored a couple of goals perhaps, but really had little impact. They're just... Las Palmas, they have a pretty solid squad. I don't think they need much. They did lose one of the key players. I forgot his name, whatever. Leganes, yet again, they did not make any signings that I personally think impact the season too much. I do view them as having had a better season than Espanyol. If you look, they did better in the Segunda Division last year. I do think Leganes have a good shot of staying up, but they haven't made any signings, and you gotta make signings to progress, and there's not been any important signings. On the other hand, Mallorca have an absolute plan to success. I mean, they could be the Brighton of La Liga. They signed Takuma Asano. This guy, if you watch the Bundesliga, If you just watch the Bundesliga every week and follow no other league except the Bundesliga, you would know Takuma Asano is a baller. He was one of the best, if not the best players from Bochum, excluding Kevin Stager because he was obviously the best in the Bundesliga last season. Takuma Asano, he's a key Japanese talent, exciting Japanese winger, just freshness around the squad, a bit of skill, rhythm, everything. I'm excited to see how Mallorca plays with these new signings. Asano especially is the most important. I apologize for sliding the slide. This one is the slide I was looking at. And anyways, so next up is Osasuna. They have not made any key signings whatsoever. They already had a good base. I think they'll do pretty well if they keep Ante Budimir, that is. Rayo Vallecano. They signed Adrian Embarba. Now, Rayo similarly don't need anything to become successful. They're already a mid-table club. They're an established La Liga side with good players all around. However, Embarba was a key player in Almeria. He was one of the more consistent players for Almeria last season, and he will impact the Rayo in a positive way. Real Madrid, Kylian Mbappe. Do I need to say more? He is the best left winger on this planet right now, and he can play up front, which he has done for PSG most of the time. Sociedad, they've signed Sergio Gomez. We expected I put him on the list? No. I think Lucas Susic is a more important player. They're gonna lose Mikel Merino to Arsenal next season. I excuse a pause. We're back, and yes, what I said, I do think they'll do well. They finished top 6 and top 4 in their respective seasons. Sociedad, Lucas Susic is a talented and promising midfielder, and I think he will be able to replace Mikel Merino. If not 100%, then 75%. Sevilla, they really need a striker. I mean, they lost Yusuf En-Nesyri to Fenerbahce. That was a really key transfer of the summer. Iheanacho, he was a key player for Leicester in the championship last season, and I think he will be able to back seasons. He is your typical 10-goal striker. And Sevilla, they have been a mediocre club, if I say so, in the past 2 seasons in the league. They did win the Europa League 2 seasons ago, but if you look at league performance, they've been battling relegation. And I think Iheanacho is a striker you'd expect to have a 10-15 goal season in La Liga, which is a weaker league than the Premier League competitively. And I do think that he will be able to be the striker that everyone thinks he will be and be able to back 10-15 goals to Sevilla. He is a typical striker for them, in my opinion. Same goes for Valencia, signing Rafa Mir. It's a key signing. He's been signed from Sevilla. Sevilla really taking L's here. Rafa Mir, I think he will have a good season, so will Valencia. Oh, they will have a good season, wow. Valladolid, they signed a wonder kid from LAFC, Stipe Buuk, in winter, and they made the deal permanent. Even though Buuk got little game time last season, out of the 3 promoted clubs, I think Buuk is the only signing that makes any impact on the season of these clubs. He's a talented wonder kid, and Valladolid have an aging squad. They need some freshness, and Stipe Buuk is the only promising talent, only ray of hope I can see from the Valladolid side to survive relegation, to battle relegation. And I think Stipe Buuk, he's 21 and he's one of the fresher faces in the side. And I think every club needs a fresh face from an outside league to compete in the league and give a sort of new aura to the team, which I think Buuk will do. He was average last season for Valladolid. However, he's a wonder kid, and I think he has great potential. And even though he did absolutely nothing, or 5% more than nothing last season for Valladolid, I think he has great potential. That's why he makes my list, and Espanyol and Leganés don't. Villarreal have signed lots of players this window. In fact, they signed Nicolas Pepe. You might have expected for me to put Nicolas Pepe on the list. However, I put up Willy Gamboala, the Manchester United wonder kid who impressed everyone with his FA Cup performance last season. And do I need to speak more? This kid is one of the most talented and has one of the most biggest potentials in the Premier League in centre-back terms last season. And to pull his signing from Man United to Villarreal is a big achievement in itself. So, yeah, that's just signings that these clubs have made. And now, a short break. I will upload my prediction.